The Aboriginal Catholic ministry grew from a dream of belonging, of identity, of ownership, and of the dignity of Aboriginal people. Vicky Clark features in the video, who at the time of filming was the coordinator of the Aboriginal Catholic ministry. It is now under the leadership of Sherry Bolcombe, who continues the work that Vicky initiated.
I'm Vicky Clark, coordinator of the Aboriginal Catholic ministry here in Melbourne, and I'm a descendant of the Mati Mati people from southwestern New South Wales.
My name is Sister Helen Mary Langlands, FCJ, Faithful Companion of Jesus, and I am here in Thornbury at the Aboriginal Catholic Ministry for Victoria, and my role is as librarian, but that includes many other roles as well.
The Aboriginal Catholic ministry started really in 1988, and it was the time of the bicentenary here in Australia, where a lot of churches were actually really focusing or looking at their own conscience of what role they've played in Aboriginal people's dispossession of land. And it was a great time for the Aboriginal people to move and to challenge the church too. 2 years before that, though, we had a small delegation that went to Alice Springs in 1986, and they went to hear the words of Pope John Paul, and he was very inspiring. That small group came back really full of, the spirit, and wanting to have a place in the church. So for 2 years they actually met in each other's homes, and they started to then develop a small group of prayers, spirituality, travelling from all distances across Melbourne. And then finally in 88, it was the right time then to ask the church for a place where they can develop, nurture, a place of spirituality, a place of prayer, a place where Aboriginal people can come for respite, during the day. It's a quiet place, and a place of learning too. They really wanted the Aboriginal Catholic ministry to be a place of learning.
Education is very important to this centre. Each of the Aboriginal ministries throughout Australia have their own emphasis. Here we have it on education because it is so important that a person is educated so then they can take their full role in society afterwards.
The library at the Aboriginal Catholic Ministry started through a collection of books by one of the Josephite sisters. And she had a nice little collection, and I thought this would be something really nice to grow, really. We had a great bookshelf in the old house, so we started, every year we would spend maybe $500 on books. But the rule was it had to be Aboriginal authors, because you don't get a lot of that anywhere.
The Opening the Doors Foundation enables the students to get uniform, which is very important when you're in schools, that you're the same as everybody else. It also enables them to get books, although now it's more on e-books, and excursions, and so they are able to take the full part of the school life the same as everyone else.
So a man came, sat here under the tree, and he said to me, "What was my dream?" And I said, "Well, it's not really my dream." I said, "But in one way it is. I would love to have a foundation for Aboriginal children." You see, when my mum came to work in Melbourne, she would always, from a little country town called Balranald, she would always send pencils and exercise books back to the rest of the family, to the kids. John Arthur said to me, that was the man that came to visit me, he said, "What is my dream? My dream is to set up a foundation, Opening the Doors." And so before that, though, I'd spent 10 years working across Catholic schools, making sure when Aboriginal children walked into those schools, if they did, when they walked into those schools, they would be respected culturally and rightful, and their spiritual needs would also be cared for, that they weren't just the dumb black kid coming in. These were kids that had some, had great things to offer, and I wanted them to be equal players. So 10 years I worked with teachers, developed curriculum with the Catholic Education Office, and in-service must be thousands of teachers, so that when our kids were going to come to their schools, they were ready, culturally ready for them. And we started off with about 38 kids the first year, and now we're doing over 600, probably 700 this year. foundation's been going for over 13 years now, and we're probably close to dispersing 400 to 500,000 a year.
The Opening the Doors oration is an arrangement we have with Genazzano FCJ College, and each year they are very supportive to us. Each year they hold an oration to raise funds for the Opening the Doors Foundation, and they will get an Aboriginal speaker in.
So Genazzano College support it 100%. They, they put the event on. They seek the speakers, with advice from us. And the girls at the college, the Genazzano girls, are just brilliant on the night. This year we had one girl MC it. She was fantastic, really, really good. And it's a really, really nice thing that's started from Genazzano College, really. Fire Carriers program started about 6 years ago, and it was a concept of how can we continue to sustain the schools that we've been working with, sustain them in the journey of reconciliation. That's when I was thinking, well, fire is so important to Aboriginal people. So that's when I thought, well, let's have a fire ceremony, where we warm our hands, we touch our young ones when we commission them, and then they become the keeper of the fire. They are custodians now of an Aboriginal ceremony, and they are. And they then, when there's new fires ready to come through, they're the ones that actually commission the new fire carriers, because they are the rightful owners now. Proud Race Project is really grew out of the 5th anniversary of Kevin Rudd's apology to the Aboriginal people.
Today we honour the Indigenous peoples of this land, the oldest continuing cultures in human history.
I said, I'm going to have thousands of bollards, and each of those bollards are going to represent an Aboriginal person.
It's a way of getting the people of an area to know the Aboriginal people in their own area.
And every person, every bollard, the students are going to know that person's story. It's got close to 3,000 bollards now. It was to commemorate the apology on the 13th of Feb. And now it's moved. It moved on to celebrating the Aboriginal men and women who fought in our wars.
I think what I enjoy most here is just the spirit of the place. It's so friendly. Vicky is an inspirational leader, so she's given us a wonderful time, and it's just being with the people that we are.